Cheers.
I'm the only one that did a shot. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, in that technical rain between your boy Trey Prop.
And Herb's Herb's
Herb, you're
We
mute.
can't hear you.
Fuck me. All right.
Oh.
It's your boy Big Herb.
It's Mr. Patty.
And I'm Rick Stroh. Jesus.
Just off to a great start.
Yeah.
Yes, we are. Thank you guys once again for joining us here live on Blerds and Whiskey on YouTube as well as Facebook. We got a great show lined up for you. Let's get first things first. What you bombers drinking this week?
Why? Because family.
Oh, it's gonna be a great episode. I'm drinking Evan Williams. I'm drinking Williams single barrel.
Yo.
Basically, I made myself a Manhattan.
Oh man.
So Rick Show, what are you drinking on?
I'm not drinking anything what I thought I was gonna drink. It's got ruined by something, and I'm pretty sure this is my fault because I don't have alcohol. I'm just gonna I guess this is. Don't worry about it. Let's just move forward.
Welcome back, Trey Proper. What are you drinking?
I took it back with some Jim Beam and vanilla Coke because I've been on the vanilla Coke kick as of late. But yeah.
Did you say Jim Beam?
Yeah, Jim Beam.
Jim Beam
with an M.
Okay. Yeah, you said Beam though.
Look, church announcements. Let's go.
Well, guys, as always, we have Herbs, Blurbs, and Sports and Whiskey every week. OTTV on Roku. Be sure to check out those episodes on Roku and check out Blerds and Whiskey episodes on Roku as well on OTTV. BlurCon 2021. Them tickets are still on sale for $60 for the whole entire weekend pass. So be sure to go and get them out and make sure you have your vaccine because they're not going to let you in without the vaccine. And go ahead and hurry up and get those tickets because they may sell out quickly. All righty. So, fellas, there's 3 movie trailers that came out this week.
Hold on. You said the tickets are still on sale, but hurry up and go get them because they might sell out quickly.
They might sell out quickly. We don't know.
They've been on sale for 3 weeks.
Get them. Moving forward. Go ahead and get your damn tickets. Hurry up and get them. Fellas, there's 3 movie trailers that came out. One of them just came out on Disney Plus, which is the Cruella de Vil. The other one is The Quiet Place 2 and Snake Eyes, the spinoff to G.I. Joe. First off, Cruella de Vil. Did anybody see it? Because I didn't.
Yes, I saw the trailer.
No, I'm saying the movie. The movie because it's on Disney Plus. Right now.
It's already out already? Yeah, it dropped this weekend. I didn't watch the movie yet, but I mean, it's the backstory of Cruella de Vil. She started out as a regular intern working for some other woman who's probably just as despicable as she is.
Thank you, Cam. I was thinking the same thing.
There you go.
It's a Disney version of The Devil Wears Prada. Moving forward. Quiet Place 2.
Kind of like
that's only available in the movies, and I'm not going to the movie theaters to go see that. Listen, I love Jim from The Office. His wife is getting on my nerves about her comments about the Invisible Woman. That's neither here nor there. But I'm not going to the movie so that somebody can sneeze on my neck, and then I'm on the news for chokeslamming several children through seats. So I didn't see A Quiet Place 2. I've heard good things about it. I'll wait for it when it shows up on my HBO Max.
Alrighty. Cam?
But thumbs up. That's it. Let's move on. Okay. How am I gonna give a review when we ain't seen? Who made this?
Snake Eyes. Snake Eyes trailer just came out.
Rock's not in it.
Well, then I'm not gonna watch it. I mean, bring back Shannon Tatum.
I was about to say, bring back Marlon Wayans. I need Marlon Wayans out here speaking Celtic languages that don't exist no more. That's the way I like my G.I. Joe.
Oh man.
Dear God.
Oh man. So some heat dropped this Friday DMX last album, Exodus, came out. I thought it was really good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Did I think it was his best album? No. But damn, these features on here was killing it. I love the Benny the Butcher one. I love the one with Bath Salts with Jay-Z and Nas.
Shout out to Griselda.
It was an amazing album. What y'all think?
Didn't listen to it.
I mean, I did. I don't want to say anything like negative because the man has passed. But like you said, it may not have been his best, but it's still pretty good. I liked it because it was X.
Yeah. And so be sure to check it out. Friends reunion moving forward. Sony decided.
Brickstro, what did you think about the album?
No.
I'm sorry, are we going backwards? Are we going backwards to ask me about, what did I think about the DMX album? Because we're just going to skip over me, Herbert. No, in all honesty, I haven't actually had a chance to listen to it. I wanted to give it a listen last night while I was at the gym, but things didn't line up the right way. I got my zone. And so I didn't have a chance to listen to it. I will give it a listen this week. So, yeah, anyway, now, moving on.
My bad. Friends reunion, moving forward. The hell with that show. I don't care. I'm sorry.
Why do we have it as an announcement?
I didn't put it in. It was Trey. Trey that wanted to talk about it. So Trey, what'd you think about the Friends reunion?
I asked you. Okay, so we're gonna put me on the spot. All right, cool. I asked in the meeting if you guys wanted to discuss this, and from my understanding, we did want to talk about it because somebody had a particular rant they wanted to go on about it. But
yeah,
we can move on.
I actually wanted to talk about how it was, how Friends is getting a reunion, but meanwhile, Living Single is still one of the greatest shows. And Friends was plagiarized from Living Single. And they haven't even there hasn't even been a mention of it. And now Kim Fields is on the damn Upshaws, just completely just doing terrible work that's beneath her. Like, and it's just very, very problematic. Like, I can't stand it. Again, it's always some person that wants to come and be like, oh, well, you like this show, you like that show, so you should give Friends a try. And then I was trying to watch Friends, and I sit there looking like I smell shit for a half an hour.
I haven't laughed at Friends since 1997.
You laughed?
Yeah.
I was, hey, look, I got caught up in the must-see TV hype. We had cable, but there wasn't much back then. It was the 90s.
We've all had our moments where we laughed at Lisa Kudrow. That's about it. Yeah, I've had a moment where I laughed at her, but her also. Listen, no, look, you didn't laugh because we all know about your taste in comedy. We all know about your taste in comedy.
I'm sorry.
Moving on.
Yeah. I like my comedy with some form of flavor. This is just bean casserole. What comedy that with Friends?
I think you mean green bean casserole.
Bean crap. It's still shit that we won't eat. It's like, come on, it's stuff that we won't eat. Let's move forward because I don't even know why this is a big. White people love Friends. Okay, congratulations. Moving on. So fellas, Sony has decided to go ahead and cast Aaron Taylor Johnson. For those of you who don't know, he was in Kick-Ass and was Quicksilver in Ultron, Age of Ultron. And he's going to be playing Kraven the Hunter in a standalone movie.
Who's he hunting?
Yeah.
You introduced it. Tell us how you feel about the fact that he's casted.
Sony just fucked up again. It's just like, dude, it's
9 minutes.
They just hey, it is what it is at this point, man. Because it's like, dude, come on, we
demonetized.
Yeah, I'm at a loss for words.
For
like,
once,
he's actually going ahead and being a anti-hero, but he's not an anti-hero. He's a villain. He kills people. He's doing it for fun.
For sport, not for fun. For sport.
He's not a hero. He's not an anti-hero. He's a villain. Why do we have to continuously be on this? Oh, he's an anti-hero. He's an anti-hero. No, not an anti-hero. You're a fucking villain. guys, you guys take this because this is.
I agree with you, homie. Yes, he is definitely being portrayed as an anti-hero. So, but I think this is another opportunity for Marvel to basically give us the middle finger as far as the speculators out here who want to see those characters that were in the past brought back into the future. We could also, because this is under Sony, technically, this is in association with Marvel, it could be a chance for us to get into the Spider-Verse and different, multi-dimensional things happening in the cinematic universe of both Sony and Marvel. So it's a digital FU to the rest of us. That's really how it comes off to me.
I'm what?
Yeah.
All right, y'all. So Sony decides to try to build a universe around Spider-Man villains without Spider-Man being involved in it. We can't have Kraven's Last Hunt because he's not hunting anyone unless he goes to MCU. He can't be a part of the Sinister Six because they have to form together to defeat so and so who's not in that universe. So unless he's going to fight Venom or team up with Venom, I don't see what's next. The Vulture? No, the Vulture was in Far From Home. So let's see who else. We can do. I guess we do Morbius.
They in a post credit they showed Scorpion in jail technically. So
I'm just unenthused because like one thing, if I was going to make someone an anti-hero, I would say Sandman would be a better anti-hero than Kraven the Hunter. Like what is the anti-hero is pretty much a guy who is the protagonist or the hero without the traditional heroic qualities. So where does a guy who hunts people and animals for sport come into the heroic qualities? Like he saves like one child from a rhino, therefore it makes him a hero. Like I don't get it. Like he's a rich aristocratic guy who gets bored with hunting animals, decides to hunt people, or his biggest sport, which was Spider-Man. He's failed, so he's became obsessed with doing Spider-Man. Somehow people think he was still an anti-hero because he had layers, or as I like to say, the tragic villain or the sympathetic villain. I'm like, no. As he leads to the next topic, no, that's not what we're doing. Go ahead, Trey.
Cool. Rick Stroh. So Sony is doing something very, very interesting. They are essentially they're pulling out of both pots at the same with one. They're pulling out of two pots with one hand, right? They are setting up a Spider-Verse without a Spider-Man. And from some things that I've read and I've heard, they're going to bring back one of the older Spider-Men to be the main Spider-Man of their Sony universe. They're trying to talk Tobey Maguire into doing it right now. He's still very much on the fence, but that's what they're trying to do. And they're going to try and essentially we've heard it's not rumors anymore. Jamie Foxx's Electro, Alfred Molina's Dr. Octopus are going to be in Spider-Man No Way Home. Apparently, Spider-Man No Way Home is going to set up a lot of things with Spider-Man being able to cross through a multiverse. So what you could get is Kraven Silver showing up in the MCU to try and hunt Spider-Man after he fails at hunting old Spider-Man in one universe, because it's essentially a bit of a clusterfuck. We're 10 minutes in, right? I can say that.
Yeah. We've already been demonetized.
Man, we almost made it this week. It's a bit of a clusterfuck. So just putting the Quicksilver and the Kick-Ass castings aside, I kind of like Aaron Taylor Johnson as being able to play Kraven the Hunter. He showed us in Age of Ultron he can do some type of weird European accent. So I mean, I like the cast and I'm interested to see what he does. But at the same time, I just wish Sony would just back off and not give the rights to Marvel, but just leave the characters alone. Yeah.
I wonder if Hawkeye is going to make an appearance in that Spider-Man where they do a crossover. He's like, why do you look familiar?
Didn't I strangle you? So real quick before we move on from this topic, I do have one question for you guys. Are you familiar with the with the character Morlun in Spider-Man? He's one of the inheritors. So I think that if we get into the multiverse aspects of Spider-Man, that actually would be pretty interesting to see, because he's a character, for those of you who are not familiar, he's a character who basically hunts spider totems. he hunts characters with spider powers. So if they get into the multiverse of madness of Spider-Man and Sony, they could do that. And then we have all the different Spider-Man fighting them. We have I think it was the Spider-Verse comic, where they were basically eating different Spider-Man. They were physically chewing on them, but they were energy vampires. Yeah. So that would be interesting to see.
If we get Moreland, will we get a scene of Moreland ripping out Spider-Man's eye and eating it?
Yo, that was epic. If we get that, I will be all for it. Because
y'all sounding really Mephisto right now.
Really.
I'm just saying, y'all over here like trying to do that.
But would you say that would be interesting to you? Would you not watch it?
Of course I would watch it. All of our theories that we've made have been very interesting.
That's because we're good at what we do.
Except for the fact that you're going to be ultimately disappointed when you don't see, the crossover from Sony or whatever that y'all are thinking is going to happen. It ain't going to happen.
It's highly unlikely that it'll happen. I admit, yes. But if it does, I'm just speculating and thinking it'll be something interesting to see. So I would be excited either way. I'm pretty sure whatever they put together, despite the fact that it wouldn't be fully on everything that I want, but he gets mixed up and accidentally cuts down. Even though it wouldn't be everything I want, it'll be a level of disappointment. There's always a level of disappointment with every MCU property or Sony property because it's not, for me, canonically right. So I'm going to be a little disappointed. But when they throw me little treats here and there, I'm happy. I'm like, okay, I can deal with it. There are certain things I can give up. But yeah. So moving on into topic number 1. Speaking of anti-heroes or villains, we are going to have a little discussion about that. How do you guys feel about the way Hollywood has majorly majorly changed a lot of our characters and properties where villains are technically supposed to be true villains, and they are becoming anti-heroes. They're trying to humanize them. We've seen them do it with, the movie that I hate the most. I'm not even gonna fucking say it because I won't talk about it. But yeah,
Joker. There we go. Yeah.
Anyway. The movie where a comedian had mental health issues and was cast away, also was spurned by his mentor, and society shunned him, and then he became some sort of spokesman for the voiceless and downtrodden.
Yeah.
It's CM Punk in clown makeup.
You can't humanize him. He's a monster. You can't humanize him.
Honestly,
he's a fucking monster.
Honestly, I blame Dwayne. I blame The Rock for all this because people don't realize he's been talking about Black Adam for a good while now. It's been going on for almost 5 years. And he started out by saying, I'm playing the most badass anti-hero. No, you're playing a bad person, Dwayne. Black Adam is a bad guy. And they're trying, like, they keep on trying to make these, again, Trey, you just said it perfectly. They keep trying to humanize these monsters. No, these people are monsters. I'm sorry that he had a bad day. That doesn't give you carte blanche to just go around murdering people because it's just like, God, somebody stepped in my spinach dip. Now I'm pissed. Like that's not how that works, guys. It's not. I don't understand this whole humanization thing. I'm not gonna feel bad for these people.
The humanization thing is just what they're trying to do for good writing or trying to like make a well-rounded thing. In real life, let's be real. In real life, there are no like villains per se. Like this perspective on who I think is evil and who everyone else think is evil, but no one is really like in their minds like, I'm gonna tie a girl to a train tracks while twirling my mustache. Mwah, ha 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 ha. Like, no one's really, like I said, there's no inherent good or evil in the world per se. It's just all perspective. It's just everyone just living their life, just trying to make decisions and going about.
Have you met members of the Republican Party?
I have.
Well, I wouldn't even go there.
But see, all right, but okay, I think they're evil. But here's the thing: in my perspective, and as I go through life, maneuvering through life, I'm the main character in my story. You all are supporting cast members in my story because this is my story. I see people, I'm the protagonist. I see people who are antagonists or supporting characters for me. In their story, I'm the antagonist and they have their supporting characters and they're the protagonists. They're the good guys in their minds. All I'm saying is that it's all perspective in this day and age in real life. So I feel like what a lot of these writers are trying to do is when they humanize these characters, they're just not doing like cookie cutter, like cardboard, like just, I'm like good is bad, bad is bad and good is good, and you cheer for the good guy, boo the bad guy. So they make this gray area in this day and age. Now, when they try to turn that into like a positive thing, that's where I kind of like draw the line. But like the Joker is like, he's not a hero, he's not an anti-hero, he's a protagonist. That's a difference.
He's an antagonist.
No.
In the movie, he was a protagonist. Yes.
Exactly. Yes. In that particular movie, he's a protagonist. Protagonist is pretty much the main character. Antagonist, by definition, is one who initiates an action, or basically, antagonist acts and protagonist reacts.
Yes. But I got to take a little bit of umbrage with what you said. There are definitely defined lines in this real world of good and evil. They do occasionally try to make them look better. But for example, Ted Bundy, all over the place, they've tried to make it seem like this guy he's so handsome, he's so charming, he's so intelligent. But in reality, he was murdering people and killing people in their beds. He was definitely evil. He was definitely bad. So that's why a lot of people didn't like the movie, the made-for-TV movie they had with the kid,
Zac Efron.
Zac Efron. They were like, you don't make him pretty. Like, don't make this monster into a good it's frustrating to see them do this with fictional characters, but they do it in real life. It's like, why the fuck would you do that? Like, no, make this person the monster. You wouldn't tell the backstory of Hannibal Lecter and make him a likable person.
Likable, but that's just a likable or human or two different things. Like,
but these people are generally not human. I mean, look at you can't. I mean, they are human by biological definition, yes, but realistically speaking.
So what I'm trying to say is, I'm not justifying anything. Okay. What I'm saying, and the thing is, like, making someone understanding a reason or putting a backstory to something isn't justification. Just like I keep saying, whenever people try to make a bad guy into like a good guy, I'm like, cool story, still murder. Like, they're still bad, they're still doing wrong. But what I'm saying is that when they do stories to try to humanize the villain, sometimes it's annoying because they try to make them try to be like charming or witty or something like that. Or you get a classic, what I say, people who do wrong for the right reasons. Mm-hmm. Like Magneto.
And like, looking at what Cam said earlier, like Sandman, he wasn't out here murdering people.
He murdered Uncle Ben.
I mean,
in the movie,
yeah, but I mean, he was just like, he did bad things. Yes,
Rob.
And
Banks.
I mean, but as far as like, he wasn't out here trying to like do villain. Yeah, it technically was a villain thing, but he wasn't doing the things that makes it like, oh my God, this is something that a villain would do. And I mean, just looking up like the definition of anti-hero: a central character in a story, movie, or drama that lacks conventional heroic attributes. Like he lacks that. He lacks the heroic thing. I mean, he's trying to make money for his daughter, like in the Spider-Man 3 movie. He tried to make money for his daughter. He's doing this bad thing for a reason. But when you look at a villain, a character who is evil actions or motives are the most important plot to this movie. It's like, dude, you can't sit there and try to tell me that what's the name? The Rock is playing a anti-hero. No, he's a villain. He's a fucking bad person.
So the thing is that like, when they try to quote unquote humanize these people, because if you get a black and white story, you're gonna have like 1980s pro wrestling, whereas like you got the blonde hair, blue eyes, 6'8" muscle dude fighting the shorter brown handlebar mustache with the pointy shoe foreigner. Like, you boo him, you cheer him. But then, as we all know, in the 90s, they had this term called the heel face, where you had like the good guy, but he had bad guy tactics. Mm-hmm. So it's like
Stone Cold.
Right. So the anti-hero thing is kind of what happened. So I feel like in the same coin, like on the same coin, when they put that gray area of a good guy, they did the same thing with a bad guy, where you're like, I understand where you're coming from. I don't agree with it, but I understand where you're coming from. Like Ra's al Ghul, Poison Ivy, these people, like Poison Ivy just wants to save the Earth. Now she's killing humans to save the Earth.
Okay.
She wants to save the Earth. Same thing with Ra's al Ghul. Like they quote unquote want to save the world, but they're like going to destroy people, and it doesn't matter who's in their way. So the conviction. Yeah, go ahead.
They're a form of villain, though. Eco-terrorism is a form of villain. They would be considered eco-terrorists. You know what I mean? Like people who want to save the Earth, but at the same time, the tactics they use are terroristic. Excuse me. And so yeah, I mean the whole anti-hero sentiment thing. Like the only person that I think of when I think of the term anti-hero is the Punisher. That's the only person that I think of when the term anti-hero is used. He is I mean, Frank is he's doing good things, but in a very, very horrible way. I mean,
that's a matter of perspective.
There's a cartoon panel there's a comic book panel where Frank intervenes with some parents who are abusing their children, and like he like shoots the dad in the face and shoots the mom's teeth out because like I think she was biting one of the children or something like that. And it's just like, wow, look at him saving those kids, but Jesus Christ, right? Why? Like maybe you could have just punched them both or something. Like you shot the woman's teeth out.
Did she live? But did she die?
She lived.
But real quick, I want to shout out spotlight to the homie Mr. Petty. Follow him on TikTok because he has a really good opinion on the Punisher that he did on TikTok. So go make sure you like, share, and follow him because he did a real good job on that one. Go ahead.
I'm gonna say, speaking of like the anti-hero or definitions of anti-hero, like the 90s, again, it was something about that time period where it was like, oh, let's do a little bit of bad and the good. You know, all of pretty much 80% of Image comics were all anti-heroes, like Savage Dragon, where it's like, oh man, I'm going to, or Spawn, like I'm going to do good, but I have to kill all these people in order to do good. Like, well, I'm just sorry, you should have been a henchman, or you should have been like a random demon, or you should have been mugging, you know. So it's like,
I'm gonna save all of you, no matter how many of you I've got to kill.
I'm so pro-life, I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah.
So would Killmonger on the Black Panther movie be considered an anti-hero or a villain?
Anti-hero,
so you bring that up. What you're referring to is not an anti-hero. It's what's called a sympathetic villain, where they go through tragedy and you understand the story and you relate to it, but you still can't kind of like 100%, like you still can't 100% like, you know, fuck with it. Like Mr. Freeze, he is a quintessential tragic villain, where it's like, oh man, that story really sucks. You know, going around like freezing everybody in the world ain't helping it. But damn, like your story, Magneto, a former Holocaust survivor. Then all of a sudden his mutant brethren are going through the same thing. So yeah, he's a tragic villain because he's had a whole lot of tragedy in his life. But at the same time, cool story, still murder, bro.
Yeah, I said it a lot. I said it a lot during the Falcon and Winter Soldier, or Captain America and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Oh, Bucky should be Captain America. Yeah, that's great, but murder. All nobility is gone. Like, all the nobility is gone. That's we can't stand on the platform of, oh, I killed a lot of people, so that would make me a great Captain America. Well, that's a little bit too close to reality for America. So,
so you know what else kind of works with that though is for the Bucky would be the redeemable villain. So like those villains that were at one time like the antagonist, but then they became on the side of the good guy, like people like Zuko from Avatar. He was pretty much like hell bent on killing the Avatar, only to become like his best friend at the end of the story. People like Mystique from the second generation of Fox movies. She was technically a redeemed villain.
Until things killed her.
Vegeta was.
I was gonna say, what would Vegeta fall under?
Vegeta would fall under redeemed villain, where he became a redeemed. He was a redeemed villain because he had a whole story arc where he was going to destroy the planet, and then Bulma gave him that, and then next thing you know, he's like, you know what? Turns out all this time,
I am the prince of all power bottoms once again.
Wait a minute.
You know, come on, man. You know, Bulma's. I'm just gonna leave that for another show. Anyway, real quick, spotlighting. I mean, it's 8:30. We can get away with it now. I mean, it is what it is. Spotlighting some of the comments. Chuck Clark, Lethal Protector. Yes, Venom definitely was. He's definitely an anti-hero, but of course, he's a 80s, 90s product. Corey, his ideals are worthy. However, his methods are what get me. I think he's talking about Frank Castle. Bucky ends up being Captain America anyway in the comics. Yes, that's correct, Corey. Johnny Jackson on that segment on Daddy Issues, Zuko, LL Zuko. And Chuck Clark, Dinosaur from Invincible. Yes, those are good examples.
I would actually think that Zuko would have more mommy issues than anything else.
Didn't his mom got killed though, didn't she?
And he if you look at the story, his source of all of his anguish, even though his dad was his main antagonist, was the fact that he had love from his mom and he no longer had that love in his life. There was no balance. He had nothing but straight abuse from his dad, where his mom was giving him the shield or the shielding of it, and he yearned for that. And Uncle Iroh kind of provided that a little bit, but then he realized that he fought against that nature. And anyway, that's a whole.
Hey, I have a question. Would Dr. Light be considered an anti-hero?
Man, no.
Did you really just do that? Did you really?
No.
Speaking of anti-heroes, Mr. Petty.
Speaking of getting out the fridge, as we talk about all these anti-heroes and talk about all these anti-heroes and tragic villains and stuff like that, let's go ahead and roll footage from our character of the week as Trey gives him the cold shoulder. Character of the week. So, today's character week is a tragic villain. Actually, he's just a villain. Victor Freeze, also known as Mr. Freeze. Now, Mr. Freeze was originally in Batman issue like 121 or something like that. His original name was Mr. Zero. He didn't get the name Mr. Freeze until the 1960s Batman TV show. And even then, he was pretty much like an ice-related villain who just did nothing but ice puns and steal diamonds. However, in the 90s, the Batman, the animated TV series, they retconned him into a tragic villain. Victor Freeze was a scientist who was working with trying to cure a disease for his wife, Nora Freeze. His boss found out that he's using company resources to do this and shut it off almost immediately, even though her life was hanging in the balance. An accident ensued, and then he got splashed with some chemicals, blah, 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 because comics. He ended up being a villain who was hell-bent on revenge. He basically had, like, his body was changing a molecular structure to basically to sub-zero temperatures. He could not live outside or survive outside of freezing temperature. So he ended up having a suit that confined him. He's devoid of all feelings. So he is very ruthless. However, if you look deep down, he does still care about Nora. So therefore, I don't think that all of his feelings are gone. The tragic part comes from the fact that you sympathize with him. You understand his methods. Confined to his suit, he basically used diamonds to power it. The thing about him is that, like I said, the Batman anime TV series retconned what was a throwaway or B-list villain into a top-tier threat for Batman, even though he showed up probably about like 3 times in the anime TV series. That influence changed into comics, and it also even changed into movies. As you can recall, the Arnold Schwarzenegger was kind of a mix between the ice puns of the 60s and the tragic villain that he was in the Batman animated TV series.
What killed the dinosaurs?
They borrowed everything from the cartoons, including the part where henchmen's heads collide and makes a coconut sound. Because Joel Schumacher. So, Victor Freeze, like I said, retconned into a cold, ruthless, yet somehow caring, sympathetic villain. I think he's been featured in, like I said, 3 of the animated TV series, Batman Beyond, Batman straight to DVD, Sub-Zero, Brave and the Bold. He's been featured probably in, I'm not sure what else, but like I said, shout out to Victor Freeze.
You were cold as ice. You don't know how to appreciate it. You know you get another couch. What am I gonna do about my legs?
You cold as ice. Anyway, back to you guys.
Yo, what is Sam talking about?
Are we back? Okay.
Yo.
Hey, for real. Y'all can catch like previous character weeks on #Camism. It's a YouTube channel. Check it out. Like, share, subscribe. Support your boy. I do good work.
On TikTok. You want to handle that comment or should I, Rick? You want to go for him?
You go ahead.
Right.
I'm going to respond in the comments. You go ahead.
All right, Sam, you're out of your fucking mind. Baron Mordo was great. What's his name? I can't say his name.
Chitwelly. I got you. Chitwelly, easier for.
There we go. That number 4. Him. He's an amazing actor. Like shit. What the hell are you talking about? I can't wait till he's in. I hope he's showing up fully Mordoed out in Doctor Strange's Multiverse of Madness. That's gonna be amazing. Like
not the cap.
He's a great character.
We're not savages.
Savages.
The Wi-Fi. It's the Wi-Fi code.
Anyway, so we lost my train of thought. We definitely got to get into this next topic. All right, so in addition to the other trailers that we talked about earlier that we really didn't give a fuck about, this one is almost on the same level from what I've heard around the panel behind the scenes. This week we had the drop of the Eternals. You guys know we had to talk about it. Of course, it's MCU property. We got to get into this one. I'll go first. Me personally, I'm just excited to have more Marvel content. I'm happy that it's happening, but I'm pretty sure I'm feeling the same way you guys are after watching that trailer, because it's just really one question that's on everybody's mind. Where the fuck were y'all? But if you know canonically what happens with the Eternals, they pretty much are hands-off type people unless things get really out of hand. So that's
like when someone snaps their fingers and causes cosmic chaos.
I mean, yeah.
How much more? What? It had to be 100%.
Save it. Yeah. It's supposed to go last.
Yes, you're supposed to go last.
So I'm looking at it from the sense of, so you guys, the one thing that pissed me off about this when I looked through the actual thing, they said on there,
it pissed you off.
We watched you and guided you. We helped them through their progress throughout the years, but we have never interfered. You just contradicted yourself. But then when it comes to the fact that, like, hey, a fucking machine is coming through just trying to destroy us, it takes a whole country and just tries to drop it. Yeah, we're not going to get involved. You guys can do this on your own. What's the name? You have aliens coming from outer space who's trying to kill everybody. He's a huge fucking machine just flying through chasing Iron Man. Yeah, we're not going to do anything to help you out. What else? The snaps. We're not going to help you. Y'all got this shit. We taught you what to do. No, what the fuck? Where the fuck were you? When half of the existence just...
you weren't in the gym, practicing free throws with me.
It's like, so you're just gonna sit here and then at the end, so who's gonna go ahead and be the head of the Avengers? Captain Rogers isn't here anymore. Maybe I could do it. What the fuck?
So the Eternals are the Marvel's reflection of the parent that says, "Don't touch that stove; it's hot." But then proceed to watch your little stupid ass go and touch the stove, even though it's hot. That's who they are.
Let him go. Let him do it.
Don't get the Infinity Stones and snap 50% of the population away.
And in true Mr. McMahon fashion, I'm about to make this real heel turn. I loved the trailer. I loved it. It's 3 different versions of Captain America's shield in it. I'm all here for it. I love the fact that Kumail Nanjiani went from being a fat little comedian to now he's all swole and he's a Bollywood star. This is amazing. Angelina Jolie's in it, and she's dark and brooding. And she must be really thinking about Brad Pitt a lot in this movie. Amazing.
Low-hanging fruit there, sir.
Yeah, it was. Listen, everybody gets one. Brian Tyree Henry is playing Fastos, and he's just going to show that he's inspired everyone to make everything. There's going to be a young Thanos in this movie, because if you don't know, Thanos' father is a Celestial, and the Celestials are the ones that made the Eternals. So I'm just waiting for it, and then possibly we're going to get some like X-Men hints at it. Maybe, I don't know. Who's to say? Because we're dealing with all of this. It's talking about biology and the changing of cosmic stuff. And I'm excited for it. I'm here for it. Look at Cam's face. Look at this. It's gonna be amazing.
Go ahead, say it. You know you want to say it. Go ahead, say it. Say it.
First of all, ain't no Mephisto. This ain't gonna be a gateway to your X-Men universes. So your fan fiction is cute.
You don't know. You don't
Fucking. What I will say is, when I watched the trailer, the first thing as I'm watching it was they want to make the Inhumans so bad. They just try to do a round 2 of it. So that the Eternals are pretty much like the MCU Inhumans because it's the same costumes, the same thought. Like I watched that show for that one season. It was terrible. You know what I mean? I love terrible shit. So I watched that and I was like, oh, okay. Marvel was trying to make Inhumans a thing so that they could excuse mutants. It's like, oh, he was born this way because he's an Inhuman. You know, no, an Inhuman because mutants they don't exist. So then it's just. When I saw the trailer, I was like, this is the most boringest thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, I couldn't even get to 2 minutes of the trailer. You expect me to watch 90 minutes of this and possibly like one post-credit scene where Nick Fury comes in? Well. I'm good. Nah, like seriously though, the costumes are rip-offs of the entire Inhumans. Like it's like whatever Marvel had left over from that TV series. Like, hey, let's just add like some more silver to it and just throw it on these people. That's what you got.
I just got a question. I got a question real quick.
All right.
So yeah, you said that you don't like this. So just out of curiosity, did you feel the same exact way for Guardians of the Galaxy? Because a lot of people
actually no.
I'm saying no. And the only reason why I'm asking is because a lot of people they weren't like the Iron Man, the Spider-Man, the Captain America, but they found a way to make this watchable and an actual good movie. Do you think this has any chance?
Two things. One. I was actually familiar with Guardians of the Galaxy before, when the movie was coming out. They were actually pretty obscure comic book characters in general, but I was actually very aware of them from the 90s incarnation of them. So I was very much aware of Guardians of the Galaxy. So I was actually looking forward to it. Two, if you realize what they did for the Guardians of the Galaxy, they pretty much made Space Avengers. You had an out of time white guy who had to be displaced to the future. You have a dark, brooding, giant mutant creature. You had a female who wore tight leather as a master of martial arts and deadly stuff that happens to be someone's love interest. You had a
smart ass tech genius. Yeah, you had a smart ass tech genius.
It was Space Avengers. So they used the same formula that worked for Avengers and threw it in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Real quick, I didn't say mutants will be in the Eternals. I said they will allude to mutants. So I'm talking about the explanation of the X gene could pop up in the Eternals. But hey, it's cool. You guys hear what you want to hear.
I love you guys. I love you guys. Because I was about to go in. But yeah, I think so. So question for you, Mr. Petty, you think that do you think that they're going to try to follow the same formula with them, or you think they're going to go in a different direction? Like, do you think it's going to be, it's going to be more canonically stated, or you think they're going to try to make Eternal Avengers?
I don't think they're going to make Eternal Avengers. What I think they're going to use is Eternals to, explain. They're going to make the movie Eternals, and they're probably going to sprinkle a couple of Eternals into the next, Phase 4, and just throw in some other. Use Eternals as an explanation. So they're going to be making a movie called for plot devices to throw them into other devices in other movies to be like, oh yeah, Eternals did this back in the background the whole time. You didn't know.
Okay. That's literally what I see them as a plot device. Like, don't misconstrue. I'm not excited for Eternals. It's like, oh, this is cool. I guess I don't really care. I'm looking at the stuff that's going to be connected to it, like the things that are coming from this. Because also, Kit Harington is playing the Black Knight. And he's in it. Like it's verified. Like there's stuff that's gonna happen around this that's setting up other stuff. That's what I'm excited for. I don't give a damn about Phastos, Ethos, Icarus, any of them. Athena, what's the one, the fast one or whatever. I don't care about any of them and how long they've been on Earth. Ooh, it opens up in ancient Mesopotamia. I can give a rat's fucking ass.
Oh no, Pompeii, it's exploding. Yeah, that's going to be fun. I agree with you there. Oh, I'm sorry, what were you about to say?
No, I was just saying, do you think it's going to be kind of like what they did with the Ancient One in the middle of Endgame, where the Ancient One was there. She was like, yeah, get away. But they just doing little.
So the Eternals, they're truly background characters. They are not. They were created by the Celestials. So not to get too deep into the cosmology and
go for it.
The history.
No, let's do it.
Okay, all right. So the Celestials basically seeded the planet. They seeded planet Earth, and they put basically three different types of races. I believe the Eternal. Is it the Eternals? No. It is the Eternals, the Deviants, and Inhumans. And some humans had the X gene, or Inhumans.
They didn't create the Inhumans. The humans were a result.
No, that's right. They were Kree. They were Kree. That's right. So, but they put for the baseline humans, there were the Eternals, there was the Deviants, and there was human beings. And the Deviants are basically your run-of-the-mill monsters, your Minotaurs, your demons, so on and so forth. And the angel type creatures were pretty much the Eternals, and they were trying to protect the human race. But the Celestials made an experiment of the planet Earth to see if it would come to fruition, if it would start gaining powers and becoming more technologically advanced. So once they got to a certain point, and there were certain cataclysms that happened on the planet when the Celestials came back to check on the experiment, they told the Eternals, hey, when they wiped out the Deviants, and they told the Eternals, let the humans do what they got to do, stay the fuck out of it. That's the reason why they're not there. That's why they're not interfering with anything. So even if half the population is snapped out of existence, they know our bosses told us to stay the fuck out of it.
Yeah.
Now it may be a situation.
Also warned to like, oh, if something is like, they don't get involved unless something major happens.
Yes, and the snap happens. But keep in mind, they're around the planet, or they're often in space doing other stuff like on Titan or something like that. So when this happens, they may reconverge on Earth and because they literally are immortals. So they travel from wherever they are, and then they reconvene after the fact. So we're probably looking at the next maybe 2 months after the snap or so whatever happened, and they're just coming together like, okay, what the hell happened? Oh, the Avengers fixed it. Okay, cool. So I mean, that could be the case. Because half of them could have been snapped out during the 5-year period, and it took them 5 years to get back to Earth. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see.
And also, something could have happened. I'm sorry. And also, something could have happened where the one that looks like a child, Sprite has the ability to alter memories. She could have made them. They could have been going through something where they could have lost their memory, and except for Druig, who somehow has a compound full of angsty teens with guns. If you look at the trailer closely, so I mean, it's a lot. There's a lot of different angles with this, and I mean, there are a lot of different storylines they can go, but they truly are background characters. Like, I don't want everybody to start thinking that they're going to be like the front line. Oh, look, we've got a new, way more powerful Avengers. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. They're setting up other cosmic incidents.
I bet you Icarus could beat Omni-Man. Watch that's going to happen. Watch.
So with all these new cosmic beings coming out, like, we can look forward. Do you think we can look forward to like Galactus or the rest of the Celestials or anything like that?
Galactus has got to come at some point. I think that's how they'll introduce the Fantastic Four. I think they'll try to go with the 90s cartoon version of it. That's my opinion, where Galactus showing or just basically passing through and cosmic rays shooting off of him as he's flying through, and they're doing their spatial exploration, and they get their powers from that. I think that's how they'll go with it. I don't think it'll just be ambient cosmic energy. He'll be the cause of it, and then he'll be doubling back. It's like, oh, that was a tasty planet I just passed. Let me go back there and just try to get into that whole thing.
That's a tasty beverage.
So Galactus is. So here's the thing, and this could be something that could tie all of this together. Galactus is a necessity. Like, if Galactus isn't there, then then everything is out of whack. Is out of whack. Like, everything gets thrown off balance, right? And so I know they've been teasing this thing where they talk about bringing in the Fantastic Four to say that they were colleagues of Hank Pym in the 60s. What if somehow they make it so that the Fantastic Four interacted with Galactus early on, and somehow they all got transported out of this universe?
Like,
and so things are out of whack. Yes, like they all got sent to the negative zone, and things are out of whack, and that's what kind of kicks into everything with the Infinity Saga, and then everything ended with the snap, which awakens the Eternals out of whatever slumber they've been in, and just starts to kick off this cosmic angle. Like, I mean, I'll say this. MT from New York Stars, he put out a video the other day. And it goes into way more details as to the stuff that I'm alluding to. Go and check that out. It's a pretty good video. It's only like 10 minutes. It explains a lot. It hits on a lot of the same topics that we're talking about. But if you want to hear it from someone else other than us, go and check that out, because it's a pretty good video.
Real quick, Corey Johnson, Galactus will be the main villain of the new bunch of phases like Thanos was. I disagree. Galactus is not inherently evil. He is a force of nature. He is a necessity in the universe, like my colleague here just said. I doubt that he will be the main big bad, because if they tried to fight him, They can't fight. They can't fight him. They can't beat him at the level of powers that they're at. What's up?
So what you? Go ahead, Herb.
But I'm saying, Trey, he's just if it's up to Fox, it's just like a big ass cloud that's just getting ready.
I will fucking murder.
I was actually going to say, since he's not inherently evil, would that make Galactus an anti-hero?
He's not he's an immutable force. No, you look. God damn it. He's okay. Galactus is a force of nature. End of story. You can't fight him, and on some levels, you can persuade him or dissuade him, like with the Ultimate Nullifier, or somebody on his level convincing him to go somewhere else. That's the only way it happens. That's it. And he's not a fucking clown.
The funniest version of Galactus was the 90s Fantastic Four cartoon, where he came down, he set up his machine to suck the energy or eat from planet Earth, and and Sue Storm and Reed Richards are trying to talk to Galactus, like Galactus, and he's just ignoring them, just setting everything up, and he goes. And the Silver Surfer, she's like, why does he not see us? He's like, do you talk to cockroaches? She's like, we don't have cockroaches.
So I will say this, though. I will say this. One of the most frustrating things about the cloud version of Galactus is he doesn't have shape. And you know what would help him get into shape? If he went on blerdsandwhiskey.com and went to our partners page and clicked on FNX Fit and go on to FNXFit.com, so that he can get all of his needs to try and get some gains, to try and get some shape, get some arms, some traps. He can go and get some whey protein, some pre-workouts, all of the fitness clothes you would need, everything, afterwards vitamins, B12, everything that you need to be on a fitness journey and not be a shapeless cloud. Use the promo code FNXBlurs13 to get 15% off your purchases from FNXFit.com. That was amazing.
Good job.
Gotta burn out those calories after eating the planet. So
Good job. That was a good one. I legit did not see that one coming. Okay. All right.
The ultimate crowbar.
Moving on.
Real quick. I'm sorry. Real quick. I have to say something. Shut up, Chuck.
But he's right. He anyway. Yeah. Google Galactus. If you don't get the joke. Anyway, moving on to our last and final topic. We had some relatively bad news. Black Lightning has been canceled, and I never watched the show. I just, how do you guys feel?
So you're the reason why it's canceled.
Was it? I mean, I watched a couple episodes, but it was like
you. It was you.
All right.
It was you. Look, I made a drinking game out of watching Black Lightning. After the first 2 episodes, I realized that you take a shot for every time they see the word streets or in the streets, because like I wanted to give the show a chance. I already know CW, and CW's gonna CW it up, so I'm well aware how CW does their shows. So I was gonna watch it. I was gonna give it a shot. I made it through like halfway through the first season. I had to pause, wait for it to end. I count the rest up on Netflix, and then I could barely watch that last episode. The issue I always had with Black Lightning was the fact that it just had terrible dialogue, like just the worst. Like I feel like it was written by like a white guy who was on Tumblr in the early like to mid 2000s and said, "This is how a proud Black person talks." Like no, we don't. Like we don't talk like that at all.
Yeah, I'm from the urban streets. The streets.
The writing on this, you said Tumblr. It was more like it was a white guy that got exposed to Black Planet that one time in high school. And he started writing the show from there.
You got Herb.
I enjoyed the first season. I was like, all right, let's see how this develops. And then, of course, like we say constantly on here, CW's gonna CW, and there's no character development. They just make these same stilted ass stories over and over and over again. Like the wife getting mad, the wife getting mad at Jefferson Pierce she's like, "Oh, Jefferson, you need to get back out there. The city needs Black Lightning." Then 2 episodes later, "Jefferson, how could you put that suit back on? It puts our family in peril." What the fuck are you talking about? You just told me to put the suit on.
You're Black Lightning's back.
Right.
Lightning.
I mean, it's just terrible. And then the main villain is just a self-hating albino who's also about black empowerment. Like I was like, I'm so
he hates
confused
black.
by this.
Yeah, he hates black people. But then he'll like always like will have like something to say like negative. Like I don't get it. He's like he's trying to empower black people at the same time. He's just an abusive villain.
And same time, right. And then actually beat up Gary too. So
I was just about to say, and then y'all's friend got his ass whooped wearing a terrible beard.
Bruh.
Oh man, Gary, we saw that beard, dude. First of all, shout out to Gary for doing his thing. You know, we always supporting him, but that beard, man. You should have went to like our promo page or our partners page and got on that beard struggle. You could have, that could have helped you out with your your facial follicles. You already got the FNX Fit thing going on, but you could have used that beard struggle with that code Blerds1 and got yourself some ointments, some oils, some Frizz Bliss, some scruff balm, some oils, some brushes. It would have been more natural than the buff Abraham Lincoln looking thing that you had going on.
The Tyler Perry beard.
Yeah, he had the Tyler Perry beard. How you have a lace front on your chin?
Yeah, that just.
But back to Black Lightning being canceled, and it's like some people have been like, well, all right. So CW took a chance and had a black casted show, black focused superhero, and it did terrible. So now a CW can officially say, hey, we tried, it failed. Some people are like, if we had maybe supported it, even if it wasn't bad, even though it was bad, if we had supported it, maybe CW would have saw like the dollar signs or the ratings of the fact that, hey, there may be something in here. Maybe we can also look into, I don't know, Static Shock or something like that. I would have been happy to see a Static Shock spinoff from Black Lightning, but they didn't do that. They could have done the Green Lantern. They hinted at Diggle, whatever his name is, picking up the Green Lantern ring, and he could have been, their Jon Stewart. Yeah, it was at the end of the Green Arrow TV series. He picked up the Green Lantern. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, not picking. You know how it went.
You know how that ring goes.
Yeah, saying the ring finds you. You don't find the ring.
Okay, I was about to say
that ring doesn't take no for an answer.
Right.
Yeah. There was no consent. It takes you to Owen. That's how it goes.
Whatsoever.
Yeah. So some people are like, yo, if we done the thing and actually supported it, maybe we would have had more. But my thing is like I can only support what's good. If it ain't good, then there's no point in me supporting it. So it's like, yeah, I had my issues with it, but you also got some people who hated it and then all of a sudden acted all shocked, like, yo, see, you don't give no black people no chances. Well, you didn't give it a chance. You hated it. You hated it. So why are you acting like you're mad that this being canceled?
But it's the same thing when it goes to like supporting black businesses. Everybody, it's like support black businesses, but you're the first one running in there asking for a discount. You know what I mean? Like, why can't first off, we it's not a problem to demand better. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, oh, we gave black people a chance, but it's not that great. Like, and then how you gonna make a show in the Arrowverse and he never like, it's just like, oh, he lives in that black town. We can't go there, guys.
Well, actually, it was a separate universe.
Was it?
Was it a separate universe?
Yeah. So all the CW shows, with the exception of like Arrow and Flash, were all on separate universes. And then part of the crisis thing is the multiverse, like the Supergirl.
But Supergirl showed up often. Black Lightning only showed up for one time, and now he had to do scary black man stuff.
Again, like it was a multiverse. Like she could pop in because she could break time barriers, so she can do it herself.
Which is not in her power set.
Yes, it is.
That's not in her power set. That's
yes, it is. Oh, yes.
No, it's not.
She had the power of feminism, and she could do whatever she wants.
Shut the hell up. Not here. No, we not
here at Blerds and Whiskey. We support women.
We support you, but I'm not going to support your bullshit. I know that much. No,
hey, hold on. There ain't no bullshit, dude. She can break the time barrier. The tachyons and bullshitium, she broke it. If Flash could run, if Flash could run and break it, then she could fly and break it. Midichlorians.
Off camera guy, shut up. He's talking to you. Anyway, no. That's CWing. That's what that is. We're not going to take that bullshit.
It's multiverses. You know, verses they should have crossed over.
No.
Hey, Herb, put the bottle up.
Oh God.
Family.
Right, so yeah, it's time to
put the tachyon device on a Ford Mustang and a muscle car. Have that shit break through the time barrier.
You motherfuckers better be getting sponsorships
that
from
shit.
Fast and Furious.
Wait. Our car's dead. Let's get Jefferson Pierce and jump start it.
But yeah, well, y'all keep talking about this trash ass series. I'm sick of it. Like, stop talking about Fast and Furious. Fuck you, Vin Diesel. Fuck you.
Vibe is scary Spanish man stuff.
I am dumb.
No, but I like that was one of the. God damn it. Anyway, I think that one of the reasons why these shows don't get supported is because they're always handed the secondary stuff. Like you never get. She's stronger than Superman, so breaking the barrier is real as.
In the universe, she did beat Superman in a 1-on-1.
She did, but no Kryptonian. No Kryptonian has access to the Speed Force. You need the Speed Force to cross over into different dimensions without any powers. You don't care how strong you are. The only other exception to that when you
go at a certain velocity.
God damn it, Cam, no.
The time and space are in the same dimension. So if you are fast enough to break through a certain time barrier, then you are already involved in space, which is why even though the Flash isn't the first speedster, he was the first to establish the Speed Force with every step he took and built that Valhalla of speedsters.
Yes.
The Speed Force is just one dimension.
What Kryptonian has Speed Force powers?
The Speed Force is just one dimension. You have multiple dimensions, and which is why I call it a multiverse.
Look, I don't know which Kryptonian has access to the Speed Force, but I do know an ambiguous cholo from Los Angeles that has a 72 Charger that has access to the Speed Force.
Close out the show. Close out the fucking show. Close out the show. Close out the show. I can't with y'all. I really can't. I need more. I need more to drink.
Why? Because it's furious. And it's fast.
All right. Go ahead, Herb.
Up to it, down to it.
Everybody got
Great
anything
show.
else?
Like, share, subscribe on all social media platforms, guys. As always, up to it, down to it. Fuck those who don't do it. We do it because we used to it. Drink motherfucking
bastards. I hate you all. I hate you all.
Fast and the Furious.
Family.
Fuck you.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and that technicolor rainbow in between, it's your boy Trey Proper.
It's your boy Big Herb.
And thank you for watching Blerds and Whiskey.
Be sure to like, share, subscribe on all social media platforms.
And check us out on blerdsandwhiskey.com.
Be sure to get that merch.
And come take this shot.